Welcome to a new vlog. I read 2 books that I didn't do any clips for multiple reasons. I will get into them momentarily. The first one I read was Bull Moon Rising by Ruby Dixon. It is the first full-length novel that she's done, or at least a very recent one. She does the Ice Planet Barbarians. I enjoy this quite a bit. I thought, oh, I want to try her full-length novel. It was 18 hours long, and it was kind of a miserable read for me. It was a huge letdown. I was reading it, and I was really, really bored, and Sarah's like, just get to the 25% mark, and if you still hate it, go ahead and DNF it. I think that's fine. And I got to the 25% mark, and it started to get a little interesting. So I kept reading, and then by the time I was like, oh, this sucks, I was like halfway through, so I thought, I'll just finish it. But I will give a brief synopsis if you don't know what it's about. It's a Minotaur romance, which sounds so great. It's Minotaur, and it's a marriage of convenience, and that sounds awesome. And it should have been, and it wasn't, because the characters had not very interesting personalities. The main girl, I can't remember her name. I think Astrid or something like that. And the Minotaur's Hawk. She is like a noble lady. It's historical, by the way. It took me a while to figure that out. Historical. She's like a noble lady, and she, like, her family lost all their money, and she wants to go basically be like an archaeologist, kind of looking for artifacts with dead people. And there's like this very exclusive club kind of for that kind of thing. They don't let women in. And it's a whole thing, whatever. So she gets into this marriage of convenience with the Minotaur because he's a teacher there. And if they're married, he's like, well, I'll let you in, I'll be your teacher. And that's what she gets out of it. And what he gets out of it is that there's this thing that happens every 5 years with the Minotaurs where, like, the gods make them really, really horny. And for a few days, they have to have a ton of sex so that they get people pregnant. So he's like, I'll be your teacher and let you in if you marry me and we have sex. And she's like, sure. And that sounds fun. It sounds so fun. And it was I just didn't get a ton out of it. It was fine. I think if it had been like really severely trimmed down, I would have liked it more. I think like if it was like a third shorter, I think I would have gotten more out of it, but there was just so much. So I was pretty disappointed. I won't be reading the sequel, which is about her friend, another Minotaur romance. So yeah, I don't know, but I was kind of crushed by how disappointed I was because the cover's really gorgeous and it has this amazing edition that I wanted. But yeah, I read that, and then I read by Katie Robert, the author of The Neon Gods. I read The Dragon's Bride, which I had tried to read before, but I couldn't really get into it. But it's about a woman who, her husband's abusive, so she makes a deal with a demon where he's like, for 7 years of your time, I will kill your husband for you. And in that 7 years, he's like, okay, well, you have to go be auctioned off as a bride, and they can't force you to have sex with them or anything, but they can try and seduce you because the goal is to have kids. So it's like they want to have babies with you, and they're not allowed to do anything against your will, but they're allowed to make you like love them and want to do it and stuff. And then at the end of 7 years, you go home. So she goes there, and a dragon guy wins her in the auction, and he has 2 penises, and it's weird. And it was fun enough. It was really short, so I zipped through it. I got enough out of it to justify the brief time that I spent reading it. I'm actually gonna read the second one in this vlog. It's called The Kraken's something. But I guess it's a Kraken. I don't know. I didn't look up the synopsis. It's the only other one the library has. There's like 6 books in the series, and the library only has 2, and it's actually really disappointing because I would have read the whole thing because I didn't love it, but it was fun enough. But yeah, I'm gonna do that one probably next. But yeah, so I gave, I think, 2.5 stars to Bull Moon Rising, and like probably 2.5, 3 stars to The Dragon's Bride. So overall, The Dragon's Bride was more fun than The Bull Moon Rising, which is so sad because that book should have been like my favorite thing in the whole world. It sounded great. Alas, it was only okay. And then the other book I want to chat about that I read and I didn't do clips for because it's taken me like 6 months to read it is Wicked. yeah, so me and Sarah were supposed to go see Wicked because she likes musical a lot. Now, we didn't end up going and seeing it. It's streaming now. We still haven't seen it. But I was like, I'll read the book. And the book is also really long. It's like 20 hours long. And I hate it. It is like edgelord stuff. It's incomprehensible. There's so much constantly going on. It's just like, it's broken up into like 4 or 5 parts. And I didn't enjoy any of it. I don't know if you know the plot. It's following like the Wicked Witch of the West, basically, and Glinda when they were young. And it goes through when they were little to after Dorothy gets to Oz, which that's where it picks up for me, is where Dorothy arrives in Oz. But that's all happening in the background, so basically all that Dorothy stuff is just kind of getting like mentioned. You're not really seeing any of it, just like, oh, this happened. And I got to a point because they told Elphaba, oh, Dorothy's gonna come kill you because that's how she's gonna get what she wants from the wizard. And Elphaba makes this reference to that she wants to kill like the lion and the Tin Man stuff, and then with Dorothy she wants to give her to a bunch of randy sailors or something to entertain them. So like Dorothy's a child in this, and so she literally is like, I'm gonna just let a bunch of people rape Dorothy. And it's like, really? Like, we have to put that in this book? It just, that's what I mean when I say like edgelord stuff. Like, there's a lot of weird sex stuff in it, and it doesn't feel like it's made like that because he thinks it's an author. That's a man, by the way. It doesn't feel like it's written because he thinks it's gonna make the story better. It feels like edgelord stuff. And it's like, why would you invoke the image of a child-aged Dorothy getting raped by a bunch of people for your Wizard of Oz book? Like, I don't know what compelled. I think his name is something McGuire. Let me look on my Libby app. Just kidding. I returned it. I don't care. I don't care about who he is. He seems, I don't want to say bad things about this person. Never mind. But just, you can infer how I feel by my words here. I was not pleased to find that that's the choices he made. I didn't like it. Also, like, Fiyero, the love interest, like, got a child bride, and they ended up falling in love later, I guess, but he was a grown man, and it's just, why are you doing this? And the Wizard of Oz feels so much for children. So to do this stuff in a book, obviously the book is not for children, but to take something that's for children and make it adult and sleazy, I think is like really cheesy and corny in a bad, lame, pathetic way. So yeah, I didn't enjoy that book and I don't recommend it. So technically this vlog it's more of a review than a vlog so far, but not off to a solid start because I just didn't super love any of these books. I'm hoping that the Kraken, I think it's the Kraken Sacrifice, I'm hoping that book is more fun than the Dragon's Bride, because it just kind of left me wanting. I don't know if it's because of the length, because it was so short that everything happened really fast. But, you know, it's like there was basically no time between this regular woman showing up in the fantasy realm and her being totally okay with the fact that she is sexually attracted to a dragon. And I would just like a little more fight. You know, I just like in Bull Moon Rising, there was none of that because it was established in the world that just kind of happened, like humans would get with minotaurs, and it was like totally fine and acceptable, which is okay because it's part of the world. But this, she was a normal human who got thrown into this world with like a bunch of creatures, and she's just like immediately attracted to him. It's just fine. And it's like, no. I need her to have some time where she's reasoning with herself. But, you know, short book, you don't want to waste a bunch of time with that. Anyway, I'm going to dive into the Kraken's Sacrifice, which I'm hoping that's what it's called because that's what I'm calling it. And I'm going to cross my fingers that I have a better time with it than I did the previous book. More than halfway through the Kraken Sacrifice. I'm not loving it. The dynamic between the two characters is that, like, the girl is super bratty and he is stern and doesn't like it. And it's like that I'm gonna F the brat out of you thing, which I don't know. There's a bunch of trigger warnings at the beginning of the book. I don't recall there being any for the first one, despite the fact there was domestic violence in it. But yeah, I don't know, it's fine. I wish it was more fun. I'm not super loving it. I'm a little frustrated though because he had a line in it where he was like, not with a bang but a whisper, which is supposed to be whimper, which is a reference to a poem that he wouldn't know. So I don't know why we have that line included. It bothered me a little bit. One thing I'll point out, I went and read some reviews for this book, so I got spoiled. But in the first book, there's like a non-binary demon. They go by they, them. Demon with like horns out of their eyes, something intense. And I'm like, oh yeah, sure, that makes sense. A demon, they, them, non-binary. Sure. And then in this book, we have a kraken whose pronouns are z, zer. And it just made me think of like not explaining in the fantasy universe why they have like non-binary or whatever, and having a they them makes sense. But I feel like at the point where you're gonna do the I don't know what you call it. Is it nano pronouns? What the little the other ones, the ones that are not just they them, like the z's or thing. If you're gonna have those kinds of pronouns in a fantasy world, I feel like you should have a little explanation, because it's first person, all the books, and the characters automatically like say the character's pronouns even before they have said it, because the they them demon only said that they are they them in this book, never in the first book, but the characters refer to them as they them because it's just omnipotent, whatever. And then the same with the Zer thing. And it's like, because I don't know what Zer means. I don't get it. So I would have preferred there be an explanation as to where those little other pronouns came from in this particular world. I understand wanting to diversify and have things that don't normally pop up, but just explain it, and that's fine. And then I'm gonna spoil super heavily the end of this book that I spoiled for myself, so be aware. But so both the characters establish they don't want kids, and I assume because the whole point of this little trade thing is that they come to get pregnant and give the guy the opportunity to seduce them. I was like, oh, the guy doesn't want kids, but it's because he's sad because his husband died, whatever. But no, like, they super don't want kids, which is fine. It's just he married her for like a territory thing, so you get away with the not wanting kids thing. But what I think is, weird seems like a strong word. So she does get pregnant, and the book ends with her having an abortion in the fantasy world. And, okay, I don't want anyone to think I'm not pro-choice. I am. I just feel the same way about this as I did about there being rape in the Ruby Dixon Ice Plant Barbarian thing. If you want to write that storyline, fine. But in this, you want to do an abortion storyline in your tentacle porn book? I just don't. I think it's a little too serious for what this is. It's tentacle porn, and you have an abortion in it. It's a 6-hour-long book, and you put a pretty touchy subject. And maybe she meant it to be like casual, to like normalize it in a way. It's like, oh, we'll throw that in. But it just seems like a weird way to end a romance book, I guess. Like, I understand you're trying to say something with maybe perhaps the tone in which you did it, or having it at all. It seems out of place in something like this. So I looked at the reviews, and I saw a lot of weird ones of people being like, she's forcing her politics into her books with the pronouns and the abortion. And it's like, well, I guess, but I'm kind of surprised at the amount of Christian conservative moms who are reading tentacle smut. So, always picking and choosing, huh? Just cherry picking what rules you follow and don't follow. Full offense to the conservative moms who are judging people who get abortions. But yeah, just wanted to stop and say that, because it just stuck out to me. But I'm going to finish the book and give my final thoughts about it soon.
Okay. My wooden puzzle.
We're punishing it.
I'm trying to save it. And I thought this would be the best way to do it. So if this doesn't work, I wasted a ton of blue tape, my time, and what little remains of my patience. If it does work, then we have a cute puzzle we can hang up. So what I'm going to do is try and peel this up now.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see what happens. So.
do you think it's gonna go?
Huh?
How do you think it's gonna go?
Poorly.
Yeah?
Yeah. We'll see you soon. I did it.
It turned out pretty okay.
Yeah, it's
Now,
actually pretty solid.
Cutting around the details is going to be a nightmare.
That's Cappie's job.
Cappie's gonna do that later. Cappie doesn't want to do it right now. Cappie's gonna do that sitting on her bed at 2 o'clock in the morning. Oh no, is my X-Acto knife a little sticky?
Yeah, well, maybe. There's just a teeny tiny bit of blue tape on it.
That's okay.
But
I'm
yeah.
glad your little guy survived.
I am too. Oh, look at him.
It's a seahorse. Look at his beautiful details.
Should we name him Seymour?
Seymour the seahorse. We could. Oh my God! It's a John appearance.
It's a me. Oh. Are you recording a thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could be. It's fine. Yeah. Say something. Say something.
I'm gonna go do laundry.
Quick escape. A quick escape.
Why is he so ashamed? I'm glad the seahorse survives.
Because it's funny. I find this deeply funny.
I'm just happy
Look at
he's
it.
alive.
It's so funny.
I like it. I'm gonna want to kill myself cutting around that.
Kill yourself or kill me?
Both. I finished The Kraken Sacrifice, and I don't have a ton of thoughts, but I read the abortion part, and I feel like I know what the author was going for, but I don't think it was executed very well. Because, again, I still hold to the fact that I think when you're doing like a fun tentacle smut book, putting something like that in it is just a little odd, but I also understand the idea that maybe that's why she put it in there to like normalize it and make it not a big deal. But also sometimes when you make it not a big deal, it feels out of place. And I think that's kind of what I lean towards with this, is it just felt out of place. It was very fast. She figured out she was pregnant, and then she didn't think about it at all. Do you have an opinion? She found out she was pregnant. She didn't think about it at all. She was like, I don't want this. And he's like, okay. And they took care of it all really, really fast. Not that I needed her to have a big debate over it, because I guess, again, that feels like it was maybe the point. But it came off a little weird that the entire thing, from figuring out she's pregnant to the abortion, was so quick. Because it's a really quick book as it is, so it didn't, I don't think it landed the way she was hoping for, at least not for me. And then, like, the book just ends, and it just came off strangely. I didn't love that she put it in there. If she wanted to do that kind of story, I feel like it should have just not been in the Kraken romance, you know. But the book was okay overall. I didn't like it as much as the first one. I was a little bored. But I can't read the other ones because they're not at the library. So I gave it, I don't know, like a 2.5. Closer to a 3 than a 2.
Do you want to talk about your diamond art?
This one?
Yeah, here.
My own, hold on. I have to remove the things from it. My own little sea witch. It's driving me insane. I'll zoom up on the parts that are making me mad. There's absolutely a million different colors. If you don't know what diamond art is, it's just paint by numbers basically, but you're sticking on little plastic pieces. And there's just a lot. It's very detailed and it's making me frustrated. But yeah, I am not having a good time. And Sarah glued a puzzle.
Yeah.
That's Sonic the Hedgehog.
Which you'll see again in a second.
Yeah, you'll see it again very quickly, actually.
Yeah. Don't worry about it.
Don't be concerned about the order in which these clips... I'm not trying to gaslight you, but...
Listen, I've said it before, I'll say it again. We do not bring cutesy, we do not bring fun, we bring chaos.
We don't bring order and professionalism. We forget sometimes that we didn't talk about the end of a book, and we have to talk about the end of a book because we made a 5-minute clip about how we think the end's going to be weird.
Relax.
Oh my god, look at her
Stretch
foot.
her
Her little foot.
Is that not... I'm so happy I got that little chair for them. It's the cutest thing on the... Jinx
I can't even see her.
Jinx popped her head up. Jinx!
Jinx.
You want to come here, baby? I'm glued. I can't... Oh, no. She has the worst fur for this.
Look at her.
Jinx?
She's going to scratch that chair.
Yeah.
Jinx?
Come
Who
here.
did you vote for in the election? Jinx?
She abstained.
She what? That's bad.
I know.
Jinx.
Let's all shame her real quick.
Yeah, hold her weird. To shame her. Hold her like she owes you money.
I can't. She's attached to my shirt.
Jinx. How many days would Sarah have to be gone before you forgot she existed?
I'm telling you, it'd be 12 hours.
Oh, then she just move on emotionally.
Yeah. As long as she had you.
Yeah?
Thank you. Okay.
What are you doing?
I'm gluing.
Gluing?
Mm-hmm.
What are you're gluing? What are you, with what? No, that doesn't look like a glue brush.
Now it's a scraper and it's so much faster.
I bet.
And look at how I was gonna say something that would have been so dirty.
Do it. Yeah?
Look how deep in it gets.
Yeah.
Oh.
I know.
How dare.
I know. But, yeah, she used to do the brushes, and now she's doing the diamond scraper. I gave her to scrape the table, and it's working pretty well.
Yeah, look at this. Look. Wow.
Yeah.
See how fast that is?
Almost as fast as Sonic the Hedgehog.
You gotta go fast. This is, hold on. This is the puzzle I'm gluing. Hold on. I'm such a professional.
Beautiful puzzle. Beautiful. It's going to go underneath Aaron Hansen over here. We're watching.
Rip.
Yeah. He loves Sonic so much. He has a perfectly normal relationship with Sonic the Hedgehog. So you're not reading anything.
I see when I sometimes get into the situation when I have too many books where it really puts me off reading because it's just like it's too much pressure, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So I stopped reading, but I think I'm gonna try reading Dungeon Crawler Carl as opposed to any of the stuff I was reading because I feel like if I try to get back on track, it's just gonna stress me out again.
Yeah, I had a really rough reading night the other night. I tried to read Priest, which I was looking forward to so much, and it turned out to not like it. And I spent money on it, which I almost never do, and it went south, so I got really sad. And I switched over to one of my TBR books, Heir to the Jedi, and I got about 10% in before I was like, I just don't care. I'm not going to finish this, so I DNF'd it. And then I started Weather Girl by, do you know her name?
No.
I started Weather Girl, which the picture's in the thumbnail, and I got like another 15% in, and I'm still reading it. I haven't officially DNF'd it, but I'm bored. I just don't care about the characters at all. It's just pretty boring, just a very boring lead and a boring love interest.
Yes, I have to clean the table afterward, but look at it.
And so I put that down and I jumped over to Twisted Love, which I also don't remember the name of the author. I'm so sorry. And I am halfway through it. I'm not loving it, but it's the only one that's like keeping my interest. And I'm not super keen on the romance necessarily because it's like he's a big tough guy, but he's into sex where he like demeans women. And she's like, well, maybe I'd like that too. So basically he just calls her like a whore and a slut while they're having sex. And it's just like demeaning. And if you're into that, that's fine. But I don't love it in a romance, I guess. So I'm not having the best time. But it's the only book that's held my interest. And I didn't do an update for it. But, oh, this is actually for a different vlog. I'm reading that book for a different vlog. This one's for my other one. So, that's fine. I won't go into detail about my issues with Twisted Love more. I'll save that for the other one, but you get a little preview of my incredible struggle. I'm having a very difficult time.
Which vlog is this for?
This one's for my Monster Love one. I read the Bull Moon Rising, Minotaur. I read Bull Moon Rising, Ice Planet, Barbarians.
I just don't like how messy this version of doing it. It's so fast that it's worth it, but it is so messy.
It's so gluey.
It's also like this is way more efficient because like it does get into all the little crevices and stuff.
It looks very evenly coated.
Yeah.
You don't worry it's too much glue?
No, because it worked fine with the 3,000 piece.
All right, yeah. I mean, we didn't even show them the 3,000 piece that's hung up now.
There's a couple of bits that like are a little. It's not in all the crevices, like in the middle here, but I'm not gonna drip 2 drops of glue and redo
Yeah.
it. I'm gluing the back too. It'll be fine.
Yeah, I think it's going to turn out pretty good and better than this vlog and better than my next vlog, which I didn't like any of the books I read in this vlog, really. I read the most boring Ice Planet ones of the whole series. And
well, how deep in are you? There's
like 6 or 7.
I mean, yeah, you can only maintain that kind of momentum for so long.
I guess. I'm just sad because I didn't like any of the books really in this vlog, and I don't like any of the ones in the one I'm currently recording. So I'm like I read a comic book. I don't know if I'm going to talk about that in one of the vlogs because I just kind of bammed through it. I'll tell you about it though. It was one of the most messed up comics I've ever read in my entire life.
In a good way or a bad way?
In a good way.
Okay.
It's like it's pretty insane. I believe I have to do. Oh, I guess I'll just wrap it up. Yeah, I read the most boring of the Ice Planet Barbarians. It's literally just hate to love, nothing to it. She wanted to have a baby, and she's gonna have a baby probably. Actually, yeah. Did she get pregnant? I think she got pregnant at the end. I don't even remember, and I read it 2 days ago. So yeah, I apologize for how boring this vlog was, but you got to see Sonic the Hedgehog puzzle.
Yeah.
And I think that makes it worth it.
I mean, sometimes it's just hard to find stuff that we like. We're very picky. I've said it before, I'll say it again. We're hard to please.
I feel like I'm in a reading slump, but I'm still reading. Do you know what I
Did you show
mean?
them your book?
Which one? Caught Up?
Yeah.
I put that in the other vlog.
Oh, okay. Oh my god, that makes sense.
Because I'm going to probably read that one for that vlog, just so I read something that brings me joy. And then we're going to watch, I don't know when we're going to watch the Black Tiger Brotherhood TV show. We will catch you up on how we feel about that when we watch it, but I guess...
I'm going to make a prediction.
Yeah?
I think it's going to suck.
Okay. Well, thanks for watching if you did watch. I don't know.
She loves you, bye.
Bye.